Hello, everyone. Hybrid Tour Reviews here, wanting to talk about the top 10 Black Series of 2023. 2023 is an amazing year to be a Black Series collector. I know every year we say, was this the best year to be a Black Series collector? And honestly, I think 2023 is the case. It's a testament to the line that every year it gets better and better. Honestly, 2023 is going to be a hard year to top. We had a pretty good variety in what figures we got. Everything was great. There was some really new, interesting points of articulation added to the line, and all in all, it was just a great time. So good job to Hasbro for just 2023 in general. Banger of a year. So I have a top 10 list set up for you guys, and in the middle, we're actually going to talk about the three biggest flops, because I could not come up with five. There was not a five worst figures of the year. It was a struggle, which means that it was a really good year, because usually I can come up with five. So, anyway, without further ado, I have two honorable mentions. It was going to be one, but then the list got shuffled at the last, and so I'm going to keep the two. So this was basically the number 11. It is now number 12. Ayla Secura. Awesome figure, Jedi that we've wanted forever. I consider the Clone Wars Maul Wave a January 1st release because it wasn't available on shelves anywhere in the US until January. I know some other YouTube channels like got the wave through like Return of the Nerd or other import sites, and were able to get them a couple of weeks early, and you get it the week of Christmas. So it's definitely a 2022 release. It's not. So I considered this a January wave, the first stuff of the year. So Ayla, amazing figure, love her. And then this figure was in 10th place until it had to be bumped because something did come out. So Cobb Vanth from the Cad Bane 2-pack. Awesome figure, great representation of the character. I love this. This is one of my most favorite figures of the year. So it needed some mention. But now, on to the true top 10 list. In spot number 10, Jedi Legend Kenobi, the Walmart exclusive series finale ending White Robes Obi-Wan. Awesome figure, one of my most favorite Kenobi figures in the entire line from one of my most favorite shows. This is the look. I love it. I wish it had gotten a little more screen time, but just an amazing figure. I love how it turned out. I really, really like this one. So, anyway, on to number 9. We have the Fourth Sister Inquisitor. This came out in the summer, and I really liked it. Now, I know that the Fourth Sister is not like the most iconic Inquisitor, but you gotta remember, I'm an action figure collector. I don't care if you're iconic per se. If you're a really good action figure, I'm gonna point it out. And the Fourth Sister Inquisitor is, in my opinion, the best Inquisitor figure we have in the Black Series. The articulation is phenomenal. She is so fun to pose. I had a hard time just putting her on the shelf because I wanted her to stay on my desk forever, getting posed over and over and over again. Amazing figure. I love that Fourth Sister Inquisitor. If you don't have it, go get it. You'll love it. Number 8, I have Luke Skywalker from the Build-Up Pack. Now, I did a whole video talking about how the build-up pack was a fair value. I still stand by that, and this Luke is amazing. This is the most Jedi Luke outfit I could imagine. That kind of wraparound tunic from the Book of Boba Fett. Such a cool design. They didn't really reuse too terribly much here. Maybe the arms and the head. Everything else was new sculpt for this, and it just turned out so good. I love this appearance for Luke, and I'm glad that the figure turned out as well as it did, because it is iconic. In spot number 7, we have Cal Kestus from Jedi Survivor, an amazing recreation of the character. I love this outfit in the game. The likeness to Cal is just impeccable. It is so good. I am incredibly impressed with this figure, and this was just a great addition to the Gaming Greats line. I'm glad that they've started to do a couple hits here and there in the main line just for these new sculpts. In spot number 6, I have the Target exclusive Duels and Darth Vader. This Anakin battle damaged head is phenomenal. The figure is a little dated in places, sure. It's a little bit of reuse going on, but they gave it every bit of detail you could have asked for. They damaged the hem of the cloak. They cut the back of the cloak where Obi-Wan smacked him in the back with the lightsaber. The blown out helmet just looks Amazing, great job, and great attention to detail there. The paint on the exposed half of Anakin's face, just an iconic scene. Iconic. And recreated beautifully. Great work, Hasbro. Dual Zen Vader, a favorite of mine. Probably my favorite Vader figure. Now, we are going to take a break from our regularly scheduled programming and talk about the 3 biggest flops of 2023. So, most of these aren't terrible. One is. So, in what I'm going to call the 3rd flop position is Grogu. All the way back in that January wave, Hasbro decided to give us a Grogu and a Pram single packed for $25 with a bunch of accessories that we've already seen, and then the Mythosaur necklace and a pack of cookies. Now, it's not that I have Grogu fatigue. I'll pick up any Grogu that you offer to me. But you're giving, and this Grogu is sitting. This is one of the only sitting Grogus we have in the line. So it's a little bit different. It's not just the straight same thing we've gotten a few times. But you have to fill the box if you give me a character like Grogu for $25. I don't mind paying $25 for an inch-tall figure, but that entire tray needs to be full of things, and that entire tray was not full of things. This was a very light-packed figure. On top of it being a small character, I was not impressed. I didn't even pick it up. I've been hoping to find it at Ross. So, number 2 is Clone Commando, or ARC Trooper Jesse. Don't know why I went with Clone Commando there. ARC Trooper Jesse, Walmart exclusive. From the neck down, honestly, not from underneath the helmet down, this figure's great. The face is spectacular. The armor is repainted to look like his, perfectly spot on. The issue all falls on the helmet. I am in Jesse Helmet Bad gang. They repainted the ARC Trooper helmet and gave it to him, even though he never has an ARC Trooper helmet. He has ARC Trooper gear and a Phase 2 clone helmet, which existed in the line. It wasn't a case of they were like, retool it or hope they don't notice. The piece existed. And the disgusting thing about this is that Hasbro has made the mistake before in the Vintage Collection twice. They released the Vintage Collection Jesse with that helmet in a 3-pack with 5s and Echo, and then they released Jesse solo without correcting that helmet, and people threw a shitstorm over it. And Hasbro didn't bother to change it for the Vintage Collection, and then they made the same mistake in the Black Series. Tell me that you don't give a shit about your product without telling me you don't give a shit about your product. So, Jesse, flop. It just upset me that they were able to make such a clear-cut mistake so many times in a row. They just don't care. So, and then the biggest flop of 2023 for me is Pre-Vizsla. I think we all saw this one coming. That review disappointed me. I have wanted Pre-Vizsla in the line for years, and getting it on such a dated body that they know that no one enjoys getting. Just disgusting. They have so many better bodies they could have used for a character like Pre-Vizsla in the main line. If it was like a Gaming Greats or a comic pack, I would have understood the reuse a little bit more. But the fact that they were like, well, let's just use the oldest body. I mean, they made Pre-Vizsla look fat. That Jango Fett 2016 body is garbage. It wasn't good in 2016. You can't tell me it's serviceable in 2023. Whoever made that choice at Hasbro needs to be fired. I stand by that. That was a terrible call. So, we've gotten some negativity out of the way. Now let's get into my top 5. So, for number 5, I have the Gaming Greats Republic Commando Scorch. I stand by the Gaming Greats Republic Commando figures. I think using the Hunter body was the right move. I really like how they look. I understand that your guys weren't as bulky as they were in your 2003 video game where everyone in armor was bulkier than they would be in real life. Slimming them down a little bit, making them look a little bit more Clone Wars styled, love it. Right choice. It's always the right choice. You will never catch me in the I want bulky commandos camp. So, Republic Commando Scorch, number 5. At number 4, I bring in the Gaming Greats Darth Maul. This figure was so good that I had to give one away. I really, really love this figure. The Clone Wars Maul was never going to make this list. But, from the waist down, it was good. It was fun. It was posable. But, like, there was just something in the top half. I don't know. It was fun. It was a fine figure. I was happy to have it. But this Gaming Great Small, while a less iconic appearance for the character, is so much fun to pose. I have had a great time putting him in 1 foot on the ground, running poses where he is full-blown sprinting, just like he does in the video game. He holds his balance and his pose perfectly. That likeness, that screaming, like, gritting teeth face, just phenomenal. I love the Gaming Greats Darth Maul. If you don't have it, I recommend you go pick it up. In spot number 3, this is a newer edition, and I've seen that this wave is pretty readily hitting, so like I said, sometimes these December hits, it's hard to tell, but I know that a lot of the online retailers have processed people's pre-orders and shipped them, and I've had it for a few days now. I got it like a week before Christmas, so I know it was kind of like at the tail end of the year, but this whole assortment is on shelves now, so it's not a 2024 release. It is the Book of Boba Fett Mandalorian. I know this is probably going to be some people's number one, but I got a couple I think are just a little bit better. So, the Book of Boba Fett Mando is a head-to-toe redo of the Beskar Mandalorian, which we have had one repainted numerous times in the line so far, and that one was a fine figure. But this figure, head-to-toe, is just phenomenal. Everything that the 2020 Mando didn't have, this does. It has the shoulder pads on the ring, on the peg, on the bicep. It's just awesome. You can get him in any pose you could ever want to put a Mando in. He comes with a soft goods cloak. Hasbro always hits with the soft goods. I am in camp soft goods. Plastic cloaks for any figure are garbage, and I hate them. So this was just a welcome change. Great job, Hasbro, on the Book of Boba Fett Mando. In spot number 2, a figure that I wasn't 100% sure about, when I saw it, but at getting it out of the box, it just really impressed me, is Ezra Bridger from the Ahsoka series. This is based on the flashback hologram to the Rebels finale. So this is basically just a Rebels Season 3 and 4 Ezra. This figure just impressed me. It is so fun to pose. It is a great adaptation of the animated series outfit to live action. It recreates that hologram version well. The likeness is pretty good to the actor. I think that it's a nice kind of blend of the actor and what we saw in the animated series. I think they took a little bit of liberty there, but I just really, really love this figure. So much fun to pose. He can do a one-legged running pose just like Maul, and it's just a great time. I love this figure, and I think it's very worthy of the number 2 spot. And now, for number 1 of 2023 on my list. I think we all knew what was going to happen here. So, I've ended up putting 2 figures here, and there's your answer on who it is. I have Clone Commander Appo, or just the Phase 2 all-white clone. My thing is, I can't decide which one I like more, because it's just a little bit of blue paint is the difference between the two of them, and I guess a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow on the normal clone. But this is such a welcome upgrade. This brand new clone body for 2023, so good. It fixes every issue we've ever had with any Clone Trooper figure ever in the line. Such a phenomenal addition to the range. I am so excited to see how they repaint this going forward to give us different legions, different characters. I hope that they use this body to give us some redos of some of the commanders, in ways that, they can actually articulate instead of just stand there at attention, because that's all the 2013 clone body can do. These are amazing releases. I love Appo. I love the Phase 2 clone. Just amazing work on Hasbro's part here. Everything modern that you could ask for in a figure was put on these figures. I don't think Hasbro could ever outdo it. I'm being 100%. I think that if they ever made a different Clone Trooper buck, it would be worse than this one. They've outdone themselves. They've won. This is the end game. So I'm incredibly pleased with these, and I think that they are worthy of the number 1 figure of 2023 spot. So that's my list. I hope that we agree on a couple of things here. I know that my list is a little different than some. I know that Starkiller and Malgus and all that were absolutely nowhere near here. They would have been on the list if it was a top 20. But these are my 10 favorites of the year, with my 3 least favorites interjected, and of course, a couple of honorable mentions at the end. I appreciate you guys coming with me through this wild ride that was 2023. We had so many good figures released, and like I said, the fact that none of them were really bad, other than like 3, like, that's a really good statistic for 2023. So I'm really pleased with that. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate you forever and always. May the Force be with each and every one of you, and I hope each and every one of you has a great day and a great 2024.